So I always start my routine by putting on a lot of moisturizer because I don't use primer, so I feel like that kind of helps my makeup stick to my face. And then after I put it on, I kind of just let it dry a little bit and get kind of sticky. So then I just go in with concealer on any blemishes or red areas I may have on my face, and then I let it dry for maybe like a minute, and then I'll just blend it out. So then after my concealer kind of dries down, I'll go in with foundation, and I like using my fingers to apply it to my face just because I don't like when it's super heavy, and I feel like this kind of helps me even it out and get lighter coverage. So then I do use a beauty blender to blend out my foundation, and I spend a lot of time kind of patting it into my face just because I feel like it makes it look more natural. And I also never put foundation on my nose or my under eyes. And then as you can see, I do use the other side that's clean and smaller to blend the foundation out of my under eyes. So next I do contour. As you can see, I use a liquid, and what I do is I'll start at the top of my face and move down, and then I do use a brush to blend it outwards. And you might be able to see I usually start off kind of light, and then I'll just go back and add more if I think it's not dark enough. And then you can't see it in this video, but whenever I contour my cheekbones, I always look down into my mirror and then I'll apply it on top of my cheeks, if that makes sense. So then when I'm done contouring my face, I'll go in with a darker contour just to use on my eyes to kind of make like a natural eyeshadow, if that makes sense. And I'll use that to contour my eyes upwards as well. So once I'm done with my contour, I go in with cream blush, and then I use a big fluffy brush, as you can see. And like the contour, I'll start off kind of light and then just add more as I go. And I do like to put it on my upper cheekbones, but sometimes I'll bring it down towards the middle of my eyes as well, and also put it on the bottom of my nose. And finally, after all of that, I'll just go back and put some concealer on my under eyes, and then I'll go to set my base. Now when I set my face, I don't do anything special, but I do always start by setting my under eyes and my nose. And in this video, I don't know why I used a makeup brush to set my makeup, but I always use a powder puff, and I really wouldn't recommend to set your face this way. But yeah, I'll just use a powder puff and go over my whole face, and then I'll just brush the rest of the powder off at the end. So then after I set my makeup, I just repeat the steps of my base. So I'll go in with powder contour and powder blush. And I did want to add, I do use my powder contour as eyeshadow. I don't really do eyeshadow normally, but I feel like that adds some color to my face and still looks kind of natural. As for blush, I do like to use the lighter blush. kind of as a base to build it up, and then I'll use a little bit of the darker blush just like closer to my eye to add more color. Then after all of that, I just use a baby wipe to clean any powder and foundation off my eyebrows, and then I brush them. I don't use any product on them, so I do this to help define them. And after that, I just add highlight, and you'll be able to see where I put it. So then when I do my lip combo, I always use the same baby wipe and just clean off any makeup that might be on my lips. And then you'll see that I use a lip liner and then a lipstick. And sometimes I'll use my finger to blend out the lip liner. I don't really know how to explain how I do my eyeliner, but I just do a small wing, and then I always start with eyeliner and I'll put mascara on after, before I put on my lashes. So finally, after all my hard work, this is my favorite part. I get to put on my big, beautiful lashes. A lot of people on TikTok were asking me which ones they were, so you can see I did hold up the package. They are by Kiss, and then when I put them on, I always just put the glue on my lashes and let it dry. I don't really like putting it on my lash line. And then after I put them on, I just use the eyelash curler to kind of squish them on, make them look more natural, if that makes sense. And then I'll just put mascara on my bottom lashes. And so that is the finished makeup tutorial for how I do my cutesy makeup. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.